Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Shed Wars. We've had a pretty good week. This week, the temperatures have been fairly good, no rain, and things are starting to grow. So let me show you what I've been up to this week. All right, so I just weeded this row out that I'm going to plant my green beans in because I like to weed out the rows as I go, as I plant, because it makes it a lot easier. So we're going to grow green beans here, and then we're going to mulch it over. So the variety that I'm planting is the blue leg bush bean. All right, so we're just going to stick them in the ground. They only need to be about 6 inches apart or so. So green beans are one of the easiest veggies you can grow. The only problem I've ever had when growing green beans is keeping the rabbits away because they'll come along and eat the tops off them. They germinate fairly quickly in about a week as long as your soil is warm enough. I like to plant the bush variety of beans versus the pole beans because it's one less thing that I have to trellis up. They mature fairly quickly, anywhere between 50 and 60 days depending on the variety that you choose. And if you keep picking them often, you can get more than one crop off from every plant. They will reflower and keep reproducing for you. So green beans also really don't like to be transplanted. They're better to just direct sow them in the garden. So you want to sow them about 1 inch deep, and you want to keep the soil moist but not too wet. Because if they're too wet, they may crack or rot in the ground, then not germinate at all. So you will need fertile, well-draining soil. They of course like full sun, but they will tolerate some shade. You just may not get as good of a crop as if they were in full sun. I like to pick my green beans when they are probably medium size. Not too small, not too big. Unless you want to save them for seed, and then you can let them get as big as they want. You may even want to succession plant them every couple of weeks so that your harvest is not all at once, unless you want to can them or dehydrate them for soups or freeze them or however you want to preserve them. And they produce so abundantly that you can easily grow enough to get you through the winter until next growing season. I got some little broccoli plants started here. They're looking good. I think I'm going to put a low tunnel over them just to keep them from getting eaten by, rabbits or anything else that likes broccoli. And over on this side, I got some cauliflower growing. I'm going to start some more broccoli and cauliflower seeds, direct sow them into the garden so that I don't harvest them all at once. But these ones are looking really good. And I did buy these from the nursery because every time I start my own, they are super leggy no matter how much light I give them. So I think the nurseries do a much better job. I also have some little comfrey plants that I had put in last year. They're growing nicely. Okay, so besides trying to get some tomato plants in the ground, I have been hardening these off a little bit, putting them outside every day for about an hour or two, and they're looking really nice and green. You want to harden them off. Some of them I left out a little too long. As you can see, they're kind of burnt, but they should come back okay. But these ones are looking nice and green. And I have some more over here. Because if you don't harden them off, they will scorch in the sun. Their leaves will just turn yellow and die. And I got some more tomato plants. I got tons of tomato plants. I potted them up so that these are more peppers. I got lots of peppers too. So I potted them up because they really needed it. So right now in the garden, I'm just trying to plant the ones that are still inside the 6-packs, like these. But they'll catch up with the rest of them. And I got these ones over here. These ones are looking really good. And then I got this last tray here. So I got lots of tomatoes to plant. So basically after I let them have an hour or two of sun, I just return them to the greenhouse and leave them there for the night until I can get to planting them all. My eggplant is ready to be planted outside as soon as I get some time. Alright, so here are 3 of my pepper plants, and I'm just going to show you my way of pruning them. It's still too early to put peppers in the ground here, so we still got another couple weeks. Alright, so basically looking at the pepper plant, the only thing that I do is I cut this top part here off. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. So, let's see. Yep. I'm going to cut it right there. And just going to top them. And this one, we're going to cut right there. Then we got this one. Let's see where I'm going to cut. I don't think I want to cut the leaf off. Just basically want to cut that top part off right in there, like that. So basically, by just topping your peppers, it will produce a much bushier, healthier, stronger plant. And you will get a lot more peppers if you top them than if you don't. Because otherwise they grow up and really tall and thin, and then you got to stake them up. So this way I never have to stake them up, and they always give me tons of peppers. Alright guys, so I've been working on my tomato row, one of my tomato rows, and I started getting a few plants transplanted. This is my big one. It's only that big because I potted it up. The rest are pretty tiny. So I got like 7 of them done. I would have got more done, but I have a huge crabgrass problem that I just can't get rid of. And these are like all the roots that I dug up today. You can see they're pretty insane. So I still have a lot left to do in this row. I'm trying to get the tomatoes, I should say, that I still have in the little 6-packs planted first, because I planted most of my tomatoes up already. So hopefully by Sunday, by the end of Sunday, I'll have most of my tomato plants planted. So last year, my 12-year-old decided to grow some apple trees from seeds. So this is one of them. And we thought it was dead, but actually it's pretty alive. It's got a lot of green on it. So we're gonna put that in the ground this year at some point. Got some new raspberry canes coming up. I got another one here and one here. And this is my blueberry bush, which I also didn't think had made it. Actually had. I planted like 4 or 5 of them, and this is the only one that survived. So I really would love to get some more. I got this little bunch of chives growing. They've been here for 3 years, so they are definitely a perennial that comes back every year. So they're starting to, they're gonna flower soon, pretty purple flowers. And I got oregano, which is really weird because I put this oregano in last year and it has hardly grown in size at all. It's just stayed just like that. With the warmer temps we've had this week, my lilac bushes are blooming out really nicely. These didn't have hardly any leaves on them at all last week. And this week, they're doing really well. The strawberry plants are getting taller and looking nice. I can't wait till we actually get some fruit on them. But anyway, guys, that's about all I have this week for Shed Wars. I thank you for joining me, and I will see you again soon.